I never imagined I'd actually say this out loud, but here it is. My boyfriend, Jake, ended up following me to what I thought was an innocent girls' night. I was 26, he was 28, and we'd been together for almost 2 years. Jake had always seemed like the trusting type, or at least, that's what I believed. But that night tore apart everything I thought I knew about us. It began like any ordinary Friday. My closest friends, Megan, Lisa, and Rachel, had arranged a girls' night at Megan's downtown apartment. Everyone seemed excited. It had been months since we'd all hung out. Megan's husband was away for work. Lisa's was on a business trip. Rachel, married for 5 years, loved these nights as a way to unwind. Earlier that day, I casually mentioned it to Jake. Girls' night at Megan's, I said, expecting the usual cheerful have fun in return. Instead, he was quiet, almost distant. I chalked it up to work stress. He didn't ask questions, just muttered an okay. The night started with wine and laughter, or at least, that's the story I was telling myself. We caught up, swapped stories, played music, and fell into the usual stream of girl talk. But as the hours passed, the energy shifted. Megan's warm personality turned strangely flirtatious. Lisa laughed a little too hard at every joke. Rachel kept texting, but it clearly wasn't her husband. I should have recognized the signs. But between the wine, the comfort of old friendships, and my own naive trust, I didn't. At some point, Megan locked the door and pulled out a bottle of tequila. That's when the night blurred. She leaned close and whispered, "Just us tonight. No husbands, no rules," her eyes glinting with something wild. Lisa nodded. Rachel shot me a look that made my stomach tighten. That's when I realized this wasn't the girls' night I thought I'd walked into. Something more charged, something hidden behind years of smiles and picture-perfect marriages, was unfolding in front of me. And then, the worst moment. I caught a shadow outside the window, Jake. His eyes burned with betrayal as he watched. I froze, unable to move, my heart pounding in my ears. How long had he been there? Did he see everything? Was this the end? Megan met my gaze and smirked. "Relax," she murmured. "It's just us. No one needs to know." But I wasn't sure about anything anymore. The trust one thought Jake and I had was cracking, and guilt flooded me, even though I hadn't asked for the night to turn out this way. The tequila kept pouring, and with it, the walls between us fell. Megan moved closer to Lisa, their laughter now laced with hushed tones. Rachel's hand touched mine, warm, but unsettling. My mind screamed for me to leave, but my body stayed frozen in a surreal, unwanted dream. Then the door slammed open. Jake stood there, his face a storm of hurt and rage. What the hell is going on here? The room went silent, as if the air had been sucked out. Megan, always quick with a comeback, faltered. Lisa's face dropped in guilt. Rachel wouldn't meet his eyes. I wanted to disappear. "I thought this was just a girls' night," Jake said, his voice trembling. "But it sure doesn't look like that." I tried to speak, but the words stuck in my throat. "How do you explain that your own friends crossed a line you never saw coming? That you were dragged into something you never wanted to be part of?" Jake's expression softened, if only slightly. "I followed you because I was worried. I knew something felt wrong." His voice cracked, and I realized he wasn't just angry. He was hurt. The lies, the secrecy, the cracks in our relationship were all showing. The silence stretched until Megan finally said, "Jake, it's complicated. We're all adults, sometimes things happen." Her words stung like salt in a wound. Jake shook his head. "No, this isn't complicated. This is betrayal. And I don't know if I can trust you anymore." He turned and walked out, the slam of the door echoing like a sentence passed. I sank to the floor, tears spilling freely. My friends weren't who I thought they were. My boyfriend, the man I loved, was slipping away before my eyes. The days afterward blurred together in silence. Jake didn't call or text. Megan, Lisa, and Rachel pretended nothing had happened, but I knew everything had changed. I replayed the night endlessly, searching for where it went wrong. Eventually, Jake answered one of my calls. His voice was calm but cold. "We need to talk." We met at a quiet cafe, the tension so thick it was almost suffocating. I told him everything, my confusion, my shock, how betrayed I felt by my friends as much as he felt betrayed by me. He listened but barely responded. "I don't know if I can get past this," he finally said. "Trust isn't just broken, it's shattered. And it's not just about that night. It's about everything we've been hiding from each other." Tears burned in my eyes. "I never wanted to hurt you, Jake. I thought it would be just a fun night, but it turned into something else." He looked at me with a sadness that cut deeper than anger. "I don't even know who you are anymore." In the days that followed, I cut ties with Megan, Lisa, and Rachel. They'd crossed a boundary I couldn't forgive. Jake and I spoke a few more times, but the distance only grew. The warmth, the trust, it all felt like it was slipping through my hands. I learned something then. Sometimes, the people you count on the most are the ones who wound you the deepest. And the people you love can disappoint you in ways you never expect. The night Jake followed me didn't just change our relationship, it changed me. I had to face the truth. I was surrounded by people I didn't truly know, and the love I thought was solid was full of fractures. I don't know what comes next for us. Maybe forgiveness is possible. Maybe not. But one thing is certain. Once trust is broken, it's nearly impossible to piece it back together.